Welcome back to Cupcake DIYs. Hi guys, today we are making an Oreo cheesecake. So the things you'll need to make the cheesecake will be, so equipment wise you will obviously need a mixing bowl. You will need a mixer. I've got a hand mixer here, or you could just do it by hand, but it will take quite a lot of mixing. I've got a smasher here, or you could use a rolling pin, or if you have a food processor. This is just to smash the Oreos and make them into fine crumbs for the base. This is a spatula, and this is obviously to mix with and clean down the sides. I also have a butter knife and a spoon. This is a tablespoon, and this is also a tablespoon, but this one's like a fully measured one, and this one's just to like mix things together. Also, you will need a measuring scale. Now this one is from Argos in the UK, and it was only £15. It was quite a good price, and this one measures in lots of different units, so you can like change the units. So I've measured my double cream and cream cheese and the Oreos, the butter and the sugar with this, so I didn't really need a measuring jug and stuff like that. But if you are gonna need that if you don't have a measuring scale. The ingredients you will need will be 300 grams of Oreos. I just bought this big pack from Tesco's in the UK, and this was in the American aisle, and it's got 36 Oreos, and I just used 300 grams of this. I think I used a bit less than 300 grams because I left some on the side to sprinkle on the top as decoration and to put on the top, so I think roughly about 250 grams of this. And you will need this to be crushed into crumbs. So I've already done this, so I've crushed it into crumbs with the masher that I showed you in the equipment. And with this you will need to scoop out the cream so you can crush it up easily, and this will be incorporated into our cream and soft cream cheese later on. You also need 60 grams of sugar. Now in the double cream we'll be adding 1 tablespoon of this sugar, and the rest will be added into the cream cheese and double cream. You'll also need butter. So I've measured out my butter, and this is 60 grams of butter, and as you can see it looks like a soft butter because this is just a spreadable butter in the UK, Clover. And I know it's salted, but it's okay because in the normal recipe you would need to add one pinch of salt, but this already has the salt in it, and there's no specific butter. It's just to make the Oreos like a wet sand type to spread on the bottom as the base. And this I'm going to put into the microwave in 20-second intervals to make it melt, and once it's melted I'm going to add it to the crushed Oreos. Sorry for the background noise, I live behind a motorway, I'm really sorry. And I'm just going to melt this and add it to the Oreos, and then I'll show you when I mix them together. So I've finished doing it, and I just put it in twice, so I've done it in 40 seconds and it's melted all the butter, and as you can see it's evenly melted. If it's not and there's a tiny bit left, just mix it and it will melt naturally. So I'm going to let this cool for a little bit so it doesn't make the Oreos soggy, and when it's a base then it won't be crunchy and nice. So I'm going to let it cool a bit so it's just lukewarm, and after it's like that I'm just going to add the 1 tablespoon of sugar to this, and I'm going to add this now because it can just melt in with it. So I'm going to measure out a tablespoon and just add it in. So I'm going to mix this into my butter. Now this will just make it sweet. Okay, so now I'm just going to add the Oreos into the butter and mix it together. I just put the biscuits in here because it was easier to mash them up. And I'm just going to mix this all together. Also, I forgot to mention that I might be adding some vanilla extract because in my recipe it's optional, but I think that I'm going to add it in because it adds some extra flavour to the cream cheese and double cream. So I'm just going to add that in later when I mix them together. So you just want to mix this together until it is all incorporated evenly. So now I've incorporated it evenly. It's like a wet sand type texture. So I'm just going to put this into my tin, and I haven't lined it with baking parchment or anything because it will come out very smoothly, because this cheesecake doesn't really need like anything, because there's nothing to really stick to. It will naturally just not peel off the sides, but come off the sides a little bit. So I really don't need to do that. So I'm just going to put this and spread it around my tin, and then I'm going to flatten it out, and I'll show you once I've done this. So I've put the Oreos into the tin and I've spread it out really nice and evenly, and it looks really good. Sorry for the background noise, there's the washing machine going on. And I'm just going to put this in the fridge now, roughly for 30 minutes or even less. It just needs to kind of harden, so we can put the cream on and it won't mix with the cream cheese and cream mixture. So I'm just going to put this in the fridge, and then we'll start on making the cream cheese filling. So I'll put it into the freezer, and now we're just going to start off doing the cream cheese filling. So we'll need to first whip the cream until it's at soft peaks, and then we'll beat the cream cheese and the sugar together, the remaining sugar, because we took 1 tablespoon out to add to the Oreos, and then we're going to mix them together, and we're going to add some Oreos to that too. So let's start with doing this. We're going to open the double cream. I have here British double cream, and I've got 150 ml, and this is from Sainsbury's, and I'm just going to open this and pour it in. Just going to get a spoon and spoon in the remaining, because you don't want any going to waste. Okay, now we're going to get the mixer, and I have mine already connected, and we're just going to mix this till it's at soft peaks. I'm going to do this off camera because it's really loud. I don't think you'd want to listen to it. So I've mixed it together and it's really nice and soft, and we're going to add our cream cheese, and I have 300 grams of cream cheese in that. This is from Sainsbury's. I just got the basic one because you don't really need to spend that much money on expensive cream cheese. So I'm just going to get the cream cheese and scoop it in and mix them together, and then I'm going to also add the rest of the sugar and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I added the vanilla off camera, so sorry I didn't show that. Then I'm going to add the Oreo filling, which is from the crushed Oreos. Just add that all in. And also the rest of the sugar. And now we're going to mix this all together, and I'm just going to do some on camera, and then I'll turn it off and show you once I'm done. So I'm finished mixing it. It didn't really take that long, and as you can see it's really nice and smooth. So now I'm going to just put my crushed Oreos, and I'm just going to crush some more now, and then I'll add them in, and I'll add some chunky ones as well, so there's a bit of texture in the cream cheese. So I've just crushed some with my masher, and I'm just going to take this off the masher and put it into the bowl. And some crushed Oreos. This I didn't take the cream out because there's kind of no point. And then I just broke some other Oreos. I'm just going to crush some more because you want it to be extra Oreo, because it is an Oreo cheesecake. And then just mix this all together. I'm just going to do this like this because you don't want to over mix the cream cheese filling, otherwise it's going to be not that nice and it will taste kind of like clumpy, and you want it to be smooth and fluffy. So let's mix this together. add more Oreos. I just noticed that I've been going off camera. I'm really sorry about that. So I added a couple more Oreos. Let's mix this in. I think that's enough. I'm going to go get out my base and then we can add this to the base. So I've taken out my base and it's only been around 15 minutes and actually quite firm, so I think it's ready to be, the cream cheese is ready to be added. So I'm just going to scoop it in. I'm going to flatten it out and spread it out evenly across the base. Just using a back of a spoon because I feel like that's easier to flatten the base with. So I'm just going to circle around the base and fill in the corners with cream cheese, then flatten the middle and then even it all out. I've finished smoothing it out and I'm just going to add some decoration. So I want to finish it off with some Oreos. I think that looks really good. So now it's just going to need to go into the freezer. I'm just going to clean the sides and then we just need to put it in the fridge, and you can put this in for about an hour before serving. So I'm going to put it in the freezer and then whenever you're ready to eat it, you can take it out of the fridge and eat it, but it needs to be minimum an hour. Then after that you just take it out of the tin and serve it and enjoy. Thank you for watching and hope you like, subscribe and share with your friends, and comment down below more baking and DIY suggestions, and thank you for watching. Bye.